Hey guys, just trying to find my comments here. See if I got any. I don't see them. Window. Huh. I don't know what's going on. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about this. Doing live. Always an issue. Today I'm without Simon. So, just bear with me. Try and organize this. How's the audio? Testing out some wireless mics right now. Let me know if the audio is good. I'm trying to find window. Let's see, where are my comments and reactions? Okay. Nope. That's not what I want. Really annoying sometimes. There we are. Hey, Steve Sweeney, Chris Fretter. What's up, guys? The fingers. How's the audio? Let me know, guys. I'm using some mics here, wireless mics here. Perfect. Thank you, Daryl. Yeah, I'm alone today. No Simon, because he's at an anime convention. So he's gone to do his anime thing. So you're stuck with me. But don't know if I'm painting much today. I'll show you what I've done so far. But thought we'd just hang out a bit and see what's going on. Anyway, I ran into some issues though. Something I did not expect. I'm getting a little bit of reverb. Let's just see. Maybe if I turn this down. I don't know. Oh, here maybe. Anyway, just let me know how the sound is, because I'm testing out these new mics. And I just want to make sure they are wireless mics, so just trying to see how good they sound. I'm going to put down everything else here. There you go. All right, how's everyone doing? How's your weekend going? I think it's a long weekend in the States, correct? Let me know. Yeah, so I was recording some stuff actually over the past couple of days, the shootouts, and I ran into some interesting issues. So I thought, why not bring them up here? We are going to cover some of this tomorrow night in the live stream that we're doing, which is what to do when you unbox a car. So we will cover that tomorrow. This is something that George wanted to talk about, and I think it's important for anyone starting up in the hobby to understand the couple of pitfalls that you might run into. But still raining in Charlotte. Ooh. It's been a gorgeous day here today. Actually, it was very, very warm. This is the workbench setup, actually, guys. So behind me is my wall of some of the cars, and then you can see that's my workbench. So this is where I can do my painting here, and I can catch up with you guys and chill out. But yeah, I have that set up, and we are right on the track as well, so we can get to see some track running if we want to. But yeah, so this is my third setup in my house for shooting. But yeah, I love my camera gear. Actually, I was just about to play around with this guy a bit. I was actually shooting some slow motion FPV with this camera, and right now it's transferring some of that data across to the hard drive. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I gotta hook up this camera to a car if I can. It's got some rear mounting pins as well, so something I gotta work on. I gotta figure this one out. But in the meantime, I was shooting with the Insta360 Go. See how it goes. Which one, the fingers? Which camera do you want me to talk about? The white one? Yeah. So this camera here is a. Oh, can you see it? There you go. This camera is the Insta360 Go 2. So this is currently what I use on my camera car. So this is okay. So this is my camera car setup. Right. So it's a 124 Audi R8 that I have retrofitted the front mount. So that's the front camera mount. And this one can record at 1080p. I believe we can do 60 frames per second. No, it's only does 30 frames per second. So it's just a very cheap camera. So I might replace this camera with the GoPro. So this is a GoPro 11 mini. This can shoot 240 frames per second at 1080. And then what I have here in the back is the setup for the Insta360. So as you can see, I can switch this camera car around. And the Insta360, unfortunately right now I can't show you too much because it's actually downloading. So give me a little bit. We're actually ripping through the downloads right now. I recorded the F1 shootout, first person FPV stuff. So it's a lot of files. When I shoot my videos, I use 7 different cameras. So it's a lot of camera editing. I shoot almost 6 hours of video to give you guys, I don't know, 5 minutes of content. So I use a GoPro 8. Yeah, GoPros are cool. I have 5 GoPros that I used to shoot at different tracks, but they're not like, this is the mini, right? This one is the equivalent. It's a little bit smaller. You know, they say it's smaller, but it's like half an inch smaller than a regular GoPro. I thought it was going to be a lot smaller, to be honest with you, but I think the Insta360 still wins in my book with its versatility when it comes to that. Yeah, I know. I do a production. My friends always say that I do a lot of work for my videos, but I enjoy it. Yeah, because, well, I'll explain to you my setup, how I do, right? So obviously there is the first person view, which is when I talk to the camera and I show the car. So that's one camera shooting. Then I have a top down camera, so we can actually explore like we have here, right? So this is a second camera that will record like top down, and I can get into details. So all my workstations have this kind of setup. And then we record I have to record the turntable. So that's not recorded yet. I have to do that. And for that one, I use a Canon M50 because that one has a macro lens, so I can actually shoot close macro shots. And then I have this camera that you're looking at, which I shoot all the moving shots. So this photography, so I shoot the cars in motion. And then I have my FPV shots, which is these cameras that will shoot FPV. And then I shoot FPV in different angles. And then we start to shoot the 240 frames per second, then 1,000 frames per second. Yeah, I think that's it. So it's 6 different cameras, or 7 different cameras, 7 different folders. Each one of them has to be filled out. And then I can edit and trim it all down to what you guys see at the end, which is a 5-minute. Oh, well, if you add all the talking that I do in between, if you take away all the talking, it's normally around 3 to 5 minutes of pure action for videography. If you add all my blabbermouth talking, then you get the 10 to 15 minute videos. So, yeah, that's my process. And I could do it easier, right? But I enjoy the cars a lot. So when I shoot the cars, I shoot them the way I would like them to be shown to me. So I do go the extra distance for that. Yeah, to do that. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about today, actually. So here's the thing. As you know, I'm trying to shoot shootouts, right? So cars going up against cars. And I run into a couple of issues here. So let's start with the first issue. And you guys can tell me whether it's okay or not, because I'd really like to hear from you guys as my supporters and people that I really like to converse with, and because we're both hobbyists. So here's the issue. Issue number 1. We have the F1 shootout, right? So we have the F22 NSR going up against the Polycar Monte Posto, or the old, like the version before. So here's the first issue I had. I did not, these cars were brand new in box, so I thought they were like for like, but here's the issue. This car has no magnet. Drives like a dream. Very hard, and I think Harry already covered this in his video, but very hard to get these front wheels to touch. So when you put it on a block and you put it up, the front wheels never really come right all the way down and touch. And that's because there's a flaw in the design, as per Harry, that the wishbone gets in the way and the car just doesn't work that well. Drives like a dream though still. So amazing car. But here's the thing, right? The NSR was very easy to tune, but it has a magnet, right? So you can see that magnet. And the problem is this magnet is welded in. It does not have an easy out. I have to actually use a soldering iron to unweld this and pop it out. So the whole reason for a shootout is it's box opening to box opening, right? With, obviously, I've prepped these cars. I put all the grub screws in. The axles all tuned. I did it to both cars, but I'm running one with magnet and one without magnet. So is it a fair enough shootout? That's the question. That's the question I ask you guys. Is it still cool for me to run them against each other? Let me know your thoughts, guys, because I'm already I'm at a loss right now. I feel kind of like I'm torn because the cars actually do perform really well, but the shootout is open a box, get it prepped, and put it on track and run it. Yeah, I could. Oh, yeah. So that is an option, Chris. I was thinking about it. I could add a magnet to the polycar, but so this is going beyond opening the box and just running it. Where would I put the magnet? Do I put it in the same spot? So if I open up this magnet's right in the middle, just behind, just where the digital chip would normally sit. Do I put it there? Daryl need to put a magnet. That's small. Sorry, what's that? Oh, not good. Seen somewhere there's a device that will demagnetize that small magnet. Really? I don't know. Oh, maybe. Need to put a little magnet to make it equal. Okay. Is a U thing I've seen. Okay. Yeah, so I could unweld this. Like, it's easy. Like, if I really want, I could probably just remove this magnet. But I just wanted to run it by you guys first before I actually redo the runs. So yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'm gonna take out this magnet from here to make it a fair fight. But they're both beautiful and they run really great. So I'm really happy about that. So that's problem number 1 solved. I will take out the magnet from this car. Thank you very much, guys. I'll make sure that I run it like for like. By the way, the F1 footage is pretty sweet. I like it. Okay, so let's go to problem number 2. On my NSR 86 F1, I got the magnet out by using no. So the NSR is easier. You can pop out the magnet on the NSR, but let me explain to you why you can't on this one. I'll open it up, and you'll see. Yeah, on the other Formula One cars, it is easier on the NSR Formula One cars in the past to remove the magnet, but not on this one. Or at least I don't see it being easy. I'll show you why. And obviously, like, this is like behind the scenes, I guess. I'm really trying to do these shootouts. It's exciting. So that's the inside chassis. So that's where the magnet is. When we flip it over, you see that it's welded in. So those are not screws. Those are plastic welds that I have to pop out in order to get that magnet out of there. Yeah, okay, no problems. I will remove that magnet. So I will use a soldering iron to unweld these and pop these out and then to get the magnet out of there so we get a fair fight. But that's what I wanted to run by you guys anyway. So thank you for that, guys. Awesome. I wish I could just run on wood braid tracks. My DDT is a plastic Carrera track, so I wish I could just run it on wood braid track, but I don't have one, and I'm stuck with running on DDT. So, yeah, Steve, would love to. But I'll also be honest, and I might get some hate for this. I'm not a big fan of wood tracks. And I'm very much a plastic track kind of guy. Even when I go to Ernie's, I don't normally run on wood. I love running on the polycar plastic track downstairs more than I do on the wood track. I don't know what it is. I just enjoy it more. So yeah. You're not late, Shotgun Dave. We're just starting. So, welcome to the party. Just a casual live stream today. I don't have my partner in crime, Simon, so not really. I did do some painting. I will show that off. But, I always have a hard time lining up this screw. Always difficult when I do this car. There we go. Or not. Interesting. So what do you guys do? Anybody done any? Let's see what we got here. Yeah, DK Moon. Yeah, I've had a chance to run it on the wood track at Ernie's, but like I said, I do prefer the plastic track. Yeah, I guess it's also more comfort zone. I grew up on plastic track as well, and the wood track. Well, I'll be honest. Like my first experience on wood track was very intimidating because there's a whole bunch of racing guys and they were yelling at each other. It didn't make for a very cool atmosphere, so I think that's also what turned me off a bit. You know, I always say like I do this hobby so I can get away from the craziness. So when you get to competitive, I find the wood track scene is very competitive, and what happens is you go there and people are not having a good time, or they're very competitive and they're having a good time, but they're loud and boisterous, and so yeah, could be intimidating sometimes. Let's see. It was a good lockout weekend. Got tons done with my scratch build project. Great, that's awesome. I have a Palmer wood track, but our last location closed over a year ago, so no mas. That sucks. No one likes controversy. Yep, that's true. Yeah, okay, so dilemma number 2. So here were the 2 cars for the second shootout. I was all ready to go, ready to get them run, and then I know something. NSR, my problem is it didn't come with the hardware. So I don't have the grub screws for the front axle. So it's just, I cannot set the front axle. I have to get some grub screws. So that kind of put a damper on this. So that's an easy fix problem. And then Scale Auto for the first time has kind of let me down. So everything about the car is cool. Love the livery. Great looking car. Here's the issue. You set it on the track, set it on the block. I don't know if you can see this, but the car is touching, like the rear. And there's no adjustment to push those wheels down. And so I'm stuck here because this car will not run on my track. Let's see. The King 21 has much more. Yeah, probably. And I did notice that. Like when you look at the 2 F1s, there is differences. Mind you, these are just like, like for me, I was trying to do like a shootout where I can put 2 cars head to head against each other. It's a little bit difficult when it comes to not different brands, and that's what I'm finding. So even here, like I have a problem with this Scale Auto. I can't get it to run because the tire's too small. I can put a bigger tire maybe and lift it up a bit more, but now I worry about clearance. I have to figure out which tire I'm going to get. So this is a little bit disappointing from Scale Auto out of the box. This chassis touches the ground in the rear. So that's shim between the body and the chassis. It's not the body actually, it's actually the chassis itself. So what's rubbing is this whole back section sits flat on the track. And I cannot adjust, I cannot bring the wheels lower. There's no adjustment to shift the wheel up. I don't know, it's frustrating that this is happening to this car because I've never had this issue before with Scale Auto. So my first shootout, and obviously Scale Auto is a brand that I really enjoy. So I was a little bit disappointed. Beautiful livery, beautiful car. Like I can't get enough of this car. I love the Haribo livery. But what's happening is it's not the body, because as soon as you put that down, you can see that, you know, that diffuser is touching. This front plate here at this point is touching. So yeah, taller tires. I think taller tires is probably the way to go, Daryl. I'm thinking about that, but now I have to figure out which tire is going to fit this. So I have to measure it up and get a bigger tire. But now that throws a wrench into like for like, box for box. It's not really a fair fight again. So that's a second damper to what I thought would be a really cool battle. So maybe I'll find 2 other NSRs that are similar to run again, like an NSR and a Scale Auto, and run a different series. Hopefully my Can-Am series not so, I don't have these issues, but we'll see. Motor parts to change, ride height. Do they have different motor pods to change ride height? I believe they have different motor pods, but once again, like that means like, you know, I'm trying to do a box for box. So anyway, like these are all good questions, and this is the reason why I wanted to do this. Kind of like run it by the group here, get an answer. These are things that I didn't expect to run into. I expected to have some tuning, you know, just set them up like basic and then run them. So yeah, these are all like little things that are coming up as I'm starting to run cars. So anyway, yeah, so that's been what I've been trying to get around this weekend. Like I said, I'm shooting the shootouts. The cool thing about the shootouts is I was talking to MP. So once I do the shootouts here, I'll actually hand the cars over to MP, and he'll do the same shootout on his track as well. This way we get like multiple tracks, same cars running against each other. So that's a kind of another cool thing that we've been discussing, and I'm really excited about. And obviously I cannot put things back together. Anyway. Like for like, just race and see what happens. The pod looks like it's sitting up too high. And I looked at that. Shotgun Dave, I did look at that. The pod actually is sitting pretty flush. It's not high. It's not that high. I mean, I have loosened it a bit, so I got some float, but I can bring it down. It will actually go flush to this. It's just that the actual axle, the axle sits too high up in the pod, and there's no adjustment. So I guess we can take a look at that. Yeah, so I had this issue. Okay, so I'll be honest with you. My first Scale Auto experience was not great. When I brought the first Vipers in from Spain, the first Viper actually had a cracked chassis, or at least I thought it was cracked. But one thing I noticed here, actually, when you look at this, is that these actually are not completely joined. It looks like the chassis has a crack in it, but it's not. It's actually on purpose. I didn't realize that, but if you notice, there's open edges on all these screws here. So the motor pod is pretty good. It can float up and down. But, you know, you're saying that the motor pod is riding too high, but there's no way, I don't see a way to adjust this, and this is the R chassis, unless I get a new motor pod. I could take the motor pod out of the Porsche 911 RSR and see if it will drop in here and see if that makes a difference. Maybe I'll do that. But for now, I don't see what I can do to get this to run. Are the bushings concentric? No, they are not. I do not think so. I do not think so. I do not know what bushings are in this car, to be quite fair. Don't know enough about Scale Auto outside of the basics. Sorry, guys. But if you guys have any suggestions, I'm open to them. But yeah, these are the problems that I'm running into right now with the shootouts. So thought it would be a little bit easier, but it's not. It's not turning out to be as easy as I want it to be. But that is the joys of trying to do crazy things. All right. So yeah, so those are my issues right now that I'm having as I'm shooting. But you know, so far everything seems to be good. What happened? Retry. Yeah, trying to export the footage that I got today. Hey Gene, how are ya? Should I run the Lola T70 from Thunderslot in the Can-Am shootout? Right now I have the slotted 91710 going up against MR Slot Car Shadow, going up against, I have the NSR 91710 going up against the MR Shadow, going up against the slotted McLaren MAD. Should I throw in the Thunderslot Lola T70 into that and run that as well in the Can-Am? Let me know. I think it'd be cool. That's 4 major brands running against each other. Hey Sean, how are you? Grandson Man, thanks for joining. Sunday evening. This is just my hobby time Sundays, guys. I just relax, paint, talk hobby. Yeah, mess around with cameras. That's what I do. So I'm glad you guys are all here. If there's something in particular you want to see, let me know. If there's something in particular you want me to do, let me know. And if it's nothing crazy, I'll do it. Oh yeah, with the NSR, another fun fact. When I got the NSR, the head of the driver was not on the driver. It was floating in the box. This NSR has had some issues, so it didn't come with the grub screws, didn't come with any of the hardware, and the driver's head was popped off, which then I had to unmelt the greenhouse and get access to the head to glue it back. In the process, I kind of damaged the rear end a little bit, so not very happy about that, but I got it done. So that was another thing that I had to get through. So yeah, the F1 race today was pretty nuts. We had every element of the weather to contend with. But the cars don't move that fast in Monaco. So let's talk about that. Do you guys like the Monaco track? I'm not a big fan, I'll be honest. Don't get to see the cars race. I mean, the race actually happens in the qualifying. That's what I feel. Unless there's some crazy event. Monaco, it's such a hard track to pass. But anyway, just took my Scale Auto SC C7R, has plenty of rear clearance on the setup plate. No diffuser though. Yep, I have no issues with. I've run a lot of Scale Autos already, so I have no issues with any of my Porsche 911s RSRs. I have no issues with the Formula One that I have. I have no issues with the Audi R8 that I have. Yeah, it just seems to be with this. This is the first car, both cars that were the first for the shootouts. So both these cars, which I brought in for the shootout, both of these seem to have a problem. One has no hardware, and this one has a problem with the chassis. So no shootout happening in these cars right now because they just don't work, and I have to figure out what I'm going to do with that. The cars behind you, are those shootout cars? Majority of them, yes. I like a long sleeve Slot Vendors t-shirt. The hockey shirt is awesome, but will be too hot. Course is tight. Steve Sweeney, the long sleeves are on the website. So just go to Conquest Lair, and the long sleeves are there. Just let me know what you need and just order it from the website. Okay, let me tell you why. When you order from the website, the reason I ask everyone to order from the website is because we keep track of every order that comes through the website and has automatic the funds for all the slot vendors gets automatically distributed into an account so that I know the payout. That's why I'm asking you guys to do it through the website. If I take the orders personally, it's just a lot of hassle for me to go and make sure that I allocate all the funding to all the different YouTubers that are part of the slot vendors. So if you want something, just go to the website and order it through there. It really helps me out from a manpower perspective. That's why I'm saying please order through the website. But yes, the long sleeves are on the website already. What is the Scale Auto? Scale Auto is the car, a brand of cars. This car is a Scale Auto car. This car is Scale Auto. So they have something known as the R chassis. It's a really cool, they're a big brand, and that's what it is. Yeah, so the fingers would know. The jerseys do have a mesh, so they are hockey jerseys, so they're breathable. They're actually really cool because they're like basketball jerseys. They're all they have their own like breathing system built in. So if you want a jersey, but I also have a very limited run for the jerseys. Whatever sizes are left is what I have. Those jerseys are discontinued, so that's why that's all I had for the jerseys. Sorry, John D. I don't understand what is it a model of? Model of. I don't. What is Scale Auto? Scale Auto. Well, Scale Auto is a brand like NSR, so they model different cars. The car that I'm showing off here is an AMG GT3 from Scale Auto. So yeah. Let's see, is this thing exporting? It is. So I've been also painting. So let's just go see where we're at. So I finished off, all these guys are now finished. Well, they're table ready. I won't call them finished, but got them to a point where you could place them on the table. They'll fit right in. So, am I happy with the paint? It's a new paint for myself. Oh. The model that is causing the problem with the diffuser is the AMG, the black one that I keep on showing. This one right here. So when I put it on a setup block, you can see that the chassis touches the setup block, and that is a chassis issue. The wheel, the axle is too high in the rear, so, and there's no motor part adjustment to bring that wheel down. So that's what's causing the problem with this car. Yeah. So yeah, I actually painted the towel girl. One of the, well, I painted these guys, and so I wanted to make her with the Brazilian flag, so I'm just waiting in for my decals. I did print some off through my printer, but we have a little bit of issues with. So I got a decal sheet printed here with a couple of decals that I can cut out and mount. I also got all the supplies that I need for decals. So let's have a look at that. Bunch of brushes. But yeah, so we have the micro set here. This is good for water slide decals, so it helps them to set. We actually have a mask if I need to mask. Get a new pod with a larger offset. Yeah, so I mean I have to fix that. It's a bummer because this is a anyway, we'll talk about this. It's a bummer, Sean, because I wanted to do out of the box versus out of the box, and it's not working. So that kind of threw my shootout for a loop, and that's what I'm complaining about. But I'm not complaining because I just gotta fix it. Anyway, so we did some of this. I got some of the girls done as well. Just been, painting up a little bit. I got the medic painted up as well. I think they turned out all right. Not too bad. Good enough for the tabletop. The next batch that I paint, I will paint with the regular paints that I use, so I won't use speed paints because I don't understand them as much as I thought I would. They do act a little bit differently. So the one thing that I did not like about the speed paints is that the paint reactivates even if it's dry. So what happens is if you put another color on top, it actually picks up from the color below. That was an issue. So you can get around it by using varnish, a matte varnish. But with the other paints that I have, I don't really have to do that. So I'll probably switch to that. So here you go. That's another female painted. And these are really quick, like I said, just single coats. These are not like multiple coats. These are all finished. To me, they're ready for table. So it turned out pretty good. Considering I did most of this on camera. So the detail is pretty good, considering that we only did the zenithal and then laid the paint on top. By 40 or so. Oh, John, did I say AMG? Yes, I did. So it's a Mercedes-Benz AMG Bi-Scale Auto. That's the one that I'm talking about. Yeah. Finished off this as well. The red is really nice. I thought the red came out really, really nice on here. Yeah, I think that's the problem, John. I don't think they ship with the right tires, and think that is my suspicion. So I will have to get a new set of tires for that car. I think that's the easiest fix for it is to just put a taller tire. So actually, let me get my verniers and check that. 1 second. I'm still mic'd up, so you can hear me trundling around in my basement. All right, let's see. Let's see what the size of those tires are. Hey, Charlie. All right, zero it up. Have a look. Actually, you are correct. I did switch the backs to the front because I thought maybe they had put them on wrong. So yes, but I think it's an illusion because they seem to be the same height. So I am 19 millimeter reading on this. It's fine. $18.7. So I'm getting reading on. Yeah, it seems to read in like 19, like it's close to 19 millimeters. I don't think there's, maybe there is an issue with the pod. Yeah, so the front is taller, which I did switch. I did switch the rears to the front because I thought maybe they had mounted them wrong, but there's no difference. So yeah, I did. We can switch them around. It's no difference though. I didn't notice a difference in the way it sat. But yeah, we'll switch them around and see. I just think there's an issue with the motor pod, which I will fix. But once again, like I said, throws a wrench into that shootout. So, and the funny part is that both cars have an issue because I didn't get the hardware from NSR, so the tires, they don't ride. They don't ride. The NSR doesn't really ride well because it's not prepped. Like the front tire is not prepped either. So I'm gonna have to put this shootout on hold while I fix these issues and see what I can do to repair that. So do you guys like the Elva joining, sorry, the Lola T70 from Thunderslot joining into the Can-Am shootout? Let me know, guys. Does it make sense? Has anyone else picked up any models that they're painting? Let me know as well. I'm just remounting the fronts to the rears and the rears to the fronts, so we can measure again, put it on the block again and see what the difference is. I do not expect much because that's how it was originally. So all right, let's have a look, make sure I did this correct. All right, switch them back to front. Have a look. I still have the same issue. Oops, I got the wrong camera up. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Then the other three. So you think the Alva will beat the Shadow, and it will beat the M8D, and it will beat the 91710. Yeah, so it's a little bit higher, but still touching in the rear. I think it's the chassis itself, guys, because if this diffuser is just riding low. Yeah, so you're right. Like that's my solution. I think I'm gonna get a 20 or 21 tire, and so something with a thicker sidewall, and mount them in the rear. That should give me the clearance I need. Yeah. Again, on mag. Yeah. So I'm gonna race them straight out of the box. I think they all come with mags, so it'll be mag racing. I think I'm not too sure. So I've never run a Thunderslot, guys. So it'll be my first time running Thunderslots. So I'm not. I don't know how they run. To be quite fair, but I have 3 Thunderslots now in my collection. One was a gift from Daryl and Marty, and the other 2 I just purchased. So I'm excited to actually experience that. So it'd be instructive to know this Scale Auto AMG had clearance problems out of the box. Yeah, no. This is the first time I'm opening up an AMG from Scale Auto. It's the first AMG I've actually bought. It does have an issue out of the box, but I don't know if that is something of a norm. So Daryl, you say there's no mags in Thunderslot cars, so I guess we're gonna do a non-mag shootout. So I'll pop out all the magnets from all the other cars, and we'll do a non-mag shootout. And we'll see. Hey, and remember, I'm a bad driver, so should be fun. Either way. I use the same rules that we use in the Global Racing League. The cars must complete 10 laps without going off for the laps to count. So we run them until that happens. So even if I run hot 1 or 2 laps and I spin off, that lap doesn't count. So that's the rule I normally do for all DDT runs. So we will run non-mag. And anyway, it's all audited out, so you guys won't see all the crappy runs that I have to do. That's why it also takes me a long time to shoot cars. Because when I do my camera runs, I sometimes have to shoot a car multiple times. I have to do the multiple takes of the laps. Because unless the car completes 10 laps without going off, I don't count I don't count the times. Pretty strict about that. It's my rule from day one. It's also the rule for the Global Racing League. It's strict. What do you guys think of that? If you put a magnet in the thunder slot, it will drag the track because the chassis is so soft. Yeah, okay. No problems. I'm just going to pop out the magnets from the rest and then run it as a non-mag shootout. My Shadow already has no magnet in it, so it makes it easier for me. I'll just remove the mags from the NSR and from the slotted McLaren. It'd be interesting because when I got back into slot car racing in 2008, my first car that I really raced a lot and put a lot of magnets in. As you can see, this thing is full of magnets, and this was my fastest car. It's an M8D McLaren, and this was my favorite car. I used to run it all the time. Yeah, so I didn't know nothing about cars, but you know, I got a 40K motor in there, NSR motor, Shark, and yeah, this car, I ran it through hell. Lost a lot of its parts, but this was my favorite car to run in 2008 when I first got into it. So it'd be interesting to run it without the mags. Be cautious not to over-tighten the glove screws in the thunder slot guide. The guide braids slots can break if tightened too much. Yeah, no problems. I don't think I'm going to touch the guide. I hope I don't need to touch the guide for the shootout. But did you say a 40K motor? Yes, it's a 40K Shark motor. Yeah. That's not the fastest motor I have. Right now, my favorite car. Okay, I'll show you this. Give me 1 second. Tighten down this chassis here. All right, John Albright, I will. So John D is correct. Tighten the gloves until just snug. Is that something that I should do when I straight out as it comes out of the box? Is it something that you have to do with the thunder slots? I have never run a thunder slot, so any help would be great. Yeah, just let me know. So I know Dave Kennedy did his live stream today, and he talked about slow cars being a lot more fun. And I am of the same opinion, personally myself. My favorite car to run right now on the track, a non-mag, is this car. So this has an 18.5 motor in it. It's an MR style car. It's a Porsche. It has a standard tire that Ernie makes us run for this class, and it's my favorite car to drive. I love how this car handles. and it's a car that I understand what it's going to do. Like I have a feel for the car, so when I'm driving it with the controller, I actually know how to break it loose, how to get around the corner, and I run really nice lap times with this. I'm happy with this car. I learned a lot about how to drive with this car. So this is my favorite car to drive, and now I have a Scale Auto Viper that I've done the same thing to. I've got it to a point where I really enjoy driving it. I get really good lap times, and yeah. So, but Ernie also built me this car, which is something I wanted. It's a 50K motor in there. It's got one magnet, but it's got a metal chassis. So this is a steel chassis that Ernie custom built for me, and this car is a blast to drive to, super fast. And it's still, I still like mag cars. I won't lie. I like going fast. I don't like wing cars. Like I'm not a big. I like cars that look like cars but can move fast. And I've done this to a Viper as well because I think a Viper should have a big engine in it. But yeah, these are 50K motors. So grub is only an issue when changing weight. That's what I thought. Okay, so that's perfect. No problems. I will remember that when I'm changing the braid. For sure. Yeah. If there's... Yeah. Do you guys have any questions about painting? Any questions about cameras? Let me know. Like this is just pretty much like hobby time. So I'm not really hobbying today. How's working on cars? I am downloading some video right now. It's taking a long time. FPV slow motion video is so big in file size, and it's taking me forever to download. Yeah, we're going through this too. These are all the solutions I need for water slide decals. So the micro set is what I use. And then there's a crystal clear. And this is another, these are two micro solvents just to move the decal around if I need to reposition it. And this one is to set it. So, hey Boone, nice to see you on the stream. I missed the Zoom call on Wednesday. I'm really sorry. Was busy at work. It's been a busy time at work, so wasn't able to get in there. Yeah, I just finished painting all these guys for the track. Just quick paint jobs. So that's what we've been looking at, and I'm going through some of the issues I'm running into with the shootouts and cars that I'm trying to get ready for shootouts. So yeah, I missed the happy trees. I know, but I'll catch the replay. I'm really sorry. I really wanted to be there, but we got caught up with work, and I'm really busy till the middle of the month. So these guys, all the paint job that I've done. So the mic's pretty good. I like it. Yeah, let me know, Zoom. Let me know, Boone, about that, and I will try and get on that one. Until June 15, it's a little bit crazy time for me, though. So I don't know how hobby time I will get over the next couple weeks. It's a busy time for work. I like the orange and green combination I did for my workers, the track workers, the track people. Turned out pretty cool. I like it. Thank you. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, they weren't that difficult to paint. I got them done pretty quick. I think all in all, 4 hours total for all of these figures. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 figures, 4 hours. And that's with me not understanding the new paint, because I did use a new paint that I've never used before. But if I used my regular paint for the next set, it will be much faster. But it's also a couple more steps, so maybe it's the same time. I don't know. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. So I don't know what else you guys want to see. I don't really have much else to say. Thank you for helping me out with that. So I will make sure when I do the Can-Am shootout, they're all non-mag. I'll have to remove the mag out of the F1 and try and fix the 2 AMGs. I do have the 3 Porsches that I'm working on right now for Carrera. So step 1 is I'm going to be replacing all the motors in all the Carrera Porsches. So that they're all running on the same motor, and we'll go from there. But that's what I'm working on right now in terms of hobby, as well as the big table. I'm still working on the mountains on the other side of the table right now. Yeah, there's so much going on, but it's exciting. It's fun. But like I said, I got water slide decals printed as well. So I'm going to test these out on some of the models. I got the Slot Avenger water slide decals as well. So we'll try them out on the... This is from my white tonal printer. So once I get it all dialed in, it'll be fun to kind of produce those as well, so people can get them. Hey, George. Yeah, just doing an impromptu live stream, Hobby Sundays. Except I don't have Simon with me because he's at an anime convention. He chose anime over me. That's okay. I'm fine. Not bitter. Not at all. Yeah. The decals look good. Yeah, they do. I do have a few issues. Let's see. Well, if you need any help tuning, feel free to reach out. I will. This is the whole reason why I'm doing all these shootouts, is trying to get the cars to tune up similarly, and so that I get good ones. And I will rely on a lot of you for your help. I appreciate, like just this evening, I was racking my brain what to do. Do I just run them? And it's just nice to like come in here and say, and let you guys know, what I'm going through, and yeah, it helps a lot. So thank you very much for everyone that's on here and giving me that encouragement. Yeah. So coming to the decals, I think they're gonna work out really well. We will test them out. Actually, what happened here was there was a big hole here because we printed one of the decals. We tried to make it a temporary tattoo, but actually had to get temporary tattoo sheets, so I've actually ordered those in. This is special sheets for my printer because it's a white toner Oki printer. So yeah, just testing white toner and everything. So we'll see how it works once I start putting them on some of the models actually. So like this girl right here, I'm gonna put one of the decals on the flag itself, and we'll see how that works. But yeah. How the box shootout is great. Idea, sorry the cars didn't cooperate. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, this is cool because Carrera out of the box is easier to do a shootout with than trying to do some of these other hobby grade cars. I've noticed Carrera is just a little bit simpler, right? We don't. The only thing you have to worry about with Carrera is the motors, are they broken in correctly? So by switching up the motors to the Piranha motors, I'm hoping to kind of eliminate that. But we'll see. Let me know when you get them. Yeah, as soon as I have this dialed in and I've tested them out, I'll definitely let you guys know. 100%. Thanks, George. Yeah, so let me just grab the Can-Am cars. All right. Sorry about that. So these are the 3 cars I'll be running in the shootout for the Can-Am stuff. There's the McLaren M8D. Yeah, the fingers, that's what I thought. It's like manufacturer shootouts. But similar cars. Like that's one thing I wanted was, does Scale Auto Scale Auto car run the same as the same car in the NSR and the same car in something else? But anyway, that's what I'm trying to do. This is the Porsche 91710 I'm going to run. So I did choose the Martini livery for this car. There was between this and the Jägermeister, and the reason I did that was because I already have like a red car running, and I wanted some variation in the colors. And the low T70 that I have is red as well, which is not downstairs, it's upstairs with my other collection. So yeah, and the Shadow is Shadow, and this one is black. So these are the Can-Am cars that will be running in the shootout. I'm excited to do that as well, but hopefully I don't have issues with these cars. Seems to have, at least the NSR seems to have all its hardware. I don't think Slotted needs any hardware. Just needs to get set up, and we'll run it, and we'll see. But yeah, the camera car has a lot of overtime work to do. Out of the box and tune 2 different shootouts. Yeah, 100%. That's what I'm planning to do. The fingers, it's definitely my intention is to first get them out of the box and and run them, and then put in the hop-ups and try and do that as well. Yeah, so George, talking about tire treatment, this is where I'm struggling a little bit with the tire treatment, because I know you said something about all the different oils and stuff, but we don't get some of that stuff up here. I'm trying to figure out a good solution for tire treatment. Chris, I have close to 450 cars now, so yes, I do have cars all over the place. I wish I had them all in one place, but I'm trying to figure out a solution where I put them all in one place right now. Yeah. John showed me that he can help. Okay. Yeah, I will reach out. I'm just starting with out of the box first. I'm going with the basic tune, so making sure that there's proper lube between the pinion and the crown, making sure that there's lubrication as well. But yeah, I'm starting there, just the basics, and then we'll start to ramp up. But I think that's probably gonna start with the Carrera first. So I guess the Porsche Shootout is probably my tuning venture. But that's why I set up this whole environment here, so I can actually tune live on my desk here, and then run it on the track right away. So the track's all prepped. The track is actually very clean. So I cleaned the track today completely, and took off, pretty much like took off all the dirt off the track. Track is really clean, and the Shootout is ready to go. So with this setup is kind of cool that I can just switch right through all the cameras and get to my track. So yes, so you just have to go through each car to make sure everything's right, and at the very least lube them up and make minor adjustments such as adjusting the axle and such. Yes, that's exactly what I do, John. I did that to both the F1s. That's when I noticed that there was an issue with the front tires from the Monte Posto not touching, and then I went through Harry's video to figure out why that was. So yeah, it really helps I'm doing these videos really to learn. One thing I know is I'm not a mechanic, but I learned how to fix cars by tearing them apart and putting them back together again, and that's what I'm doing with stock cars right now. Is I'm taking different brands, tearing them apart, and trying to figure out through my own trial and error as a newbie in the hobby to get to a point where I understand what makes each car tick. So this is like my process. And like I said, it's a fun process for me because I get to shoot the cars as well. So videography is huge for me. And then, yeah, that's basically this is a really cool time because I really love these Hobby Sundays because I get to share these experiences with you guys raw. So you are getting my raw feedback as I'm going through this before an edited video comes out. So yeah, definitely. You can find the start button on a screwdriver. You can do it. Start button on a screwdriver. I don't have a motorized screwdriver. I have a regular screwdriver. Start button on a screwdriver. That's a good one. Newer version of Polycom on Posto comes with a second chassis that gets the front wheel down. Use them at Miami F1 race. Great running cars. Yep. Mine does have that. Is it the same? So John, that's a good question because is it the same chassis that came when the cars first released. They had 2 chassis inside the car. Is that the one you're talking about, or does it come with a brand new chassis, a second chassis? I'm not too sure, because I know that they in the Monte Pasto box there's a second chassis which is meant for analog, so you can't put the digital chip. Is that the one you're talking about? And yes, I could switch out the chassis and put it down, but right now it's more about getting rid of that magnet from the NSR. John. Anyway, guys, let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about. Any of you bought any new cars? I'm waiting for my order from LEB to arrive. It has the new NSXs from Scale Auto. I'm really excited about that. And a couple of other goodies. So I'm excited about that as well. Yeah, yes, George, you're talking about that second chassis? Yeah, the spare one. Yep, I will. That's not really out of the box. So what I'm trying to do with the shootout is out of the box. I can definitely do the upgrades next, or I can do that change. For now, what I'll do is I'm gonna take out the magnets or unweld the plastic piece that holds the magnet permanently in the NSR F22s. Remove the magnet and then run the 2 cars against each other, and then we'll go from there. I think that's the easiest solution right now. It delays for now, and then we'll see. If I do switch out the chassis and run it again, maybe I will. That was something that caught me by surprise, guys. The fact that there was 2 chassis in the box was something new as well for me. Like I said, I'm learning as I go along, so that was something kind of interesting too, to figure out, to see that second chassis in there. And then I had to go through and watch Harry's video on the car and understand what that second chassis was there. But even Harry didn't run it with the second chassis. He left this first chassis on and ran it. So I thought it would be nice to do just out of the box, straight up, with the way it shipped out. So yeah. Anyway, I think that's all for tonight. If you guys have any questions in the next 5 minutes, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up in 5. And we'll go from there. I'm glad the mic worked out. It's a brand new mic. Sounds good. Hopefully it sounds good. Let me know. Yeah, still downloading the FPV footage. Unbelievable. It's taking so long. It's crazy. Sounds good. Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Jim. Yeah, I'll run it first, and we'll see. Let's get one shootout done. Break down and stack them on, pause and put it through spaces. Yeah, there you go. Yes, let's do it. You can teach me that. It's fun. It's so weird. All these manufacturers have so many little nuances to all the cars. It can be overwhelming for someone just starting out, I think, because they all look the same and then they're all so different. So, when you get to tuning them and each chassis works differently, like with the NSRs and the lack of front bushings and using the grub screws to tighten them up, tighten them down. So it's pretty interesting. It's a lot of fun. Yes, I was bad this week. NSR Electric and Carrera car case. Carrera car cases are cool. I have 2 of them. NSR Electric, you can't go wrong. I'm not a big fan of Electric, to be honest, although I have a bunch. I'm very selective with my Electric pickups. One, Electric is very expensive. It's the same price in Canada as an Riva slot, so I'm always torn. I don't normally pick up Scalextrics because of that reason. And then, you know, I'm not a big fan of like all the movie and the hype cars, so it doesn't really appeal to me as much. What I do like them a lot about Scalextric is the minis. I do love the minis, and I'm still looking for a VW Bug at a reasonable price. I'm not willing to spend 200 and 200 and plus dollars on a VW Bug that I'm not intending to race. So anyway, there's my rant. Not a big fan of the Halo open wheel cars. Well, I mean, it saves lives, I guess, the Halo, and it's proven that already. As for a slot car, they're following what they're doing in real life, I guess. Yeah, it didn't used to be that way with Scalextric. The price of admission was fairly cheap. That is true, but recently it's not. So Scalextric is pretty pricey brand right now. So, like I said, if it's between a Reba slot and a Scalextric, I'm going to pick a Reba slot anytime. Just, for me, I prefer the Reba slots. You guys got any ideas for the next legendary shirt? I mean, you got the GT40 that's coming out. I just finished the Lancia Delta Integrale, or throwback to Rally, and I have a Colin McRae one coming out as well because Colin is my favorite rally driver of all time. I'm Monty Passos, crashed hundreds of times in the Miami event, having reinforced them with them prior, and only had to reattach front wings occasionally. When you say you reinforce them, Jim Cunningham, what do you mean? I know like Harry used UV glue for the front nose, but that was about all he did for reinforcement. So what did you do to reinforce them? That would be interesting to me. The NSR is a Porsche 917K Martini Heritage. That's a really nice car, Chris. What Scalextric did you get? Oh, McLaren F1. There you go. Scalextric was a used F1 Gulf colors. Very nice. Very nice. And then you have a Porsche 956. Oh, you want a Porsche 956 962. Okay. Yeah, I can do that. No problems. Love the Polycar. I have 4 Polycar F1s. I have not tuned them. I've driven them around the track. Yeah. Area 51 and 2004 GTO. I told you, get me the picture. I'll get it done for you, George. Even though it's not. I can't put the word legendary on it. It didn't win anything. Like, it's not a winning car. Anyway, we talk about it. We'll talk about it. But I can get it done, no problems. The 956. Anytime anyone says a Porsche, I'm always all ears perked up. So definitely look into this next. So how I do it, guys, is I actually shoot the slot car and I send it off to an artist that I've hired to help me create the art. So that's how all the art is done. So if I have a Porsche 956 in my collection or 962, which I do, then I'll shoot it and I'll send it off to the artist and he'll create it for me. I used to do the artwork myself, but it's so time consuming. And so I actually decided to promote a local artist and he does it for me. Marty's in the house. What's up, Marty? This is the impromptu Sunday night hobby time. Today we're not painting though, but I did finish 12 models, Marty. DK Moon, just maybe call the GTO legend instead of legendary. Okay. I'll do one for you. I'll do one for George. If he gets me the image, I'll get it done. You see, the reason why is because I shoot the cars. So if you can shoot the car for me, I'll get it done. Yeah, so all the art that you see is actually art that is shot. So it's actually from one of my own photographs that those art pieces are made. Everyone's excited about Marty joining now. The celebrities in the house. Just put on it controversial. No problem, George. I'll settle it under Area 51 raceways. Okay, Chris will be at Cincy slots. So me and MP will probably be coming down in August. I hope to meet a lot of you when I'm down there. Well, I hope Marty wants me to come down there. Wait a second. So yeah, I should run this by Marty first. But we're planning to come down in August, both myself and MP, to Ohio to hang out with as many of you as we can. So yeah, we're just gonna figure out the dates now. But we will be down there, and then we'll have some crazy. I'm gonna bring 2 camera cars. 2 camera cars, Marty. One for you, one for me. We're gonna run some camera cars every track we go to. Get lots of footage. I'll need to bring lots of big hard drives. But yeah, 100%. It's not GTO, it's a Holden. This is correct. Party at Marty's house. Yeah, I'm gonna build a second camera car. I think I'm gonna model it off a Scale Auto 124 chassis. So because it's got a metal plate, so I can mount the swivel mount for the GoPro. So almost build a boom car out of it. So that's interesting. But I have to be watch out for weight. Dusty and John Mark stopped by to run a few laps. That's good. We could sell tickets. For what? Anyway. Marty, did you buy any more cars? I need to know. You imagine our first conversation was when you had only 5 cars in your hands. I remember. You just got the Audi. It was hilarious. Today you have so many. You're becoming a master tuner thanks to Daryl. I love the Holdens. Party and Marty's. Yeah, poor Marty. Marty's like, what did you do, Raul? Why did you talk about these things? George, are you going to come down as well? Be fun. I know you're heading up to Harry's thing. Whatever, Daryl. I heard about you and your Thunderslot tuning prowess. Yeah, the camera car will catch you on when you overtake it for the 5th time. Awesome. Yeah, it'd be fun to get together. Don't worry, Marty. I already know. He can't pull a wool over my eyes, so no problems. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take. think I'm going to take this car apart and mount my camera car onto this chassis. I think it'll be good for the car. Good for the camera, I think. So I'm going to try and build this into a camera car. Yeah. Scale Autos. Great car. Runs so well on wood track. Tuning or driving different. I heard about you. Your cars are well tuned, Daryl. Anyway, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna call it tonight. I appreciate all of you joining in for a hobby Sunday without Simon. I was wondering whether I should do this, but it was fun. And thank you for helping me with answering all the questions that I had. I can't believe I ran into so many problems with the shootout already. But hey, it's different when you're actually not doing one car at a time. You don't see the problems when you only do one car. So it was really cool. Nice. Delivery vans. Gotta check that out. All right. Well, yeah, thanks a lot, guys. And we'll catch you next time. And until then, have fun on rails. All right, guys. Take care. Bye.